Welcome to the Insurance Marketing Organization podcast, where financial services marketing expert Seth Greene interviews IMO experts, executives, and top producers to share can't-miss tips on how they successfully manage their IMOs, grow their businesses, create great relationships, and influence the industry. And now, here's your host, Seth Greene.
Welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Seth Greene. Today, we have the good fortune to be interviewing Enrico Pobre of Integrated Insurance and Investments. Enrico, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Sir Seth. Appreciate you.
You are welcome. Let's go back in time. I mean, you've been in this business almost 3 decades. You've had so much experience. How did you originally get started?
Well, I4 Global, that's what we call my company in short. It's actually a new company. It all started as a group of people who wanted to do the same thing in the life insurance business. When I say it's the same thing, Seth, we all wanted to control our book of business and give a lot of flexibility to agents like me in terms of products and services to offer up until the time said, okay, let's put up this company. I think we have the base or the foundation of what we wanted. I think we have a good direction. So that's how we did it.
Okay, but how did you get in the business? You've worked for so many other firms. World Financial Group, Capital One, Bankers Life, whole bunch of other businesses. How did you originally get into the financial services business?
The whole story started when I was living in Europe for about 8 years. When the world economy really tanked down, I was looking for a job in Europe. I stumbled upon the company called the Veer Group, and that started my financial services industry. When I went here in the United States 10 years ago, I think the Lord just put me to the same financial services again. And then that's how all started in financial services here in the US.
Who is an ideal client for I4 Global?
Well, the ideal client really, because the marketplace is so huge, Seth, and definitely the rule of thumb really is you will not be able to get everybody into your business. So what we did was to focus, we call it the focus strategy. We just focus in a certain type of a market, which are the MISME, micro, small, medium enterprises. So that's the focus of the market that I4 is looking for.
And even the MISME market obviously could still be pretty broad. Are there specific industries you spend more time working in?
Yes, definitely. You got it right there, Seth. I initially started with the medical facilities like group home health, hospice, and then now we're going to the retail MISMEs.
And then what are some of the biggest mistakes you're seeing them making with their financial lives that you're helping them fix?
Well, the biggest mistake really is just not knowing really the MISME market when we first ventured into it. When you look at the MISME market, that's what you said, it's actually broad. You just have to tailor it, fit it to a certain demographic that you're looking for. So at this stage, we're looking at $300,000 annual gross income to $5 million. So the mistake really was we just went out there and just talked to MISMEs, and in fact, they're not really a good fit to the product or to the concept that we have. So that's the biggest mistake.
Okay, what is the mistake? I apologize. What I meant was, what are the mistakes those small business owners are making when it comes to their financial lives that you're helping them fix?
The process that when we talk to the business owners, really, 2 things that we found out. Number one, they would want to increase their bottom line. Number 2, they want to save on their expenses. But when they keep on looking at that part of their business, what's holding them is they don't want to get out of the normal situation. When I say normal situation, is the normal thinking hat of a business owner is, okay, I would want to cut my expenses and lay off some people. Okay, so I want to increase my bottom line. I want to do expansion, but I want to put into more capital into the business. That's the first thing, initial thing that they always do. Now I come into the picture and say, hey, why not look at the other side of the coin? Let's work on your expenses. Let's make money out of your expenses. So now they look at it on a different scenario.
And then how do those business owners work with you? Because you've got kind of a different, more holistic approach than a regular, quote unquote, retail financial advisor or insurance agent.
Exactly, sir. Yeah. So, when I talk to them about turning liabilities into assets, or meaning converting their expenses to making money for them, I get a long face. What do you mean by that? Because this is something so unusual. So I give them the process of how we do it. And now once they understand the concept, which is actually not easy to understand because it goes through a certain process. But once they get to understand that, the question that they ask me now is, oh, Enrico, how much more can I put in? So that's the reaction that I get from the market or from the clients that I have.
Yeah, that is a beautiful conversion. Absolutely. Exactly. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
Oh man, in the concept that we created, there's a lot of learning curves there. So me personally, I love learning. I made sure that I get better in what I do. Because if I get better at what I do things that will benefit from it. The clients, of course, the most important part of my business, and the business partner that I have. So that's the thing that I always wanted to do. I make sure that I always learn. I always make sure that I'm always one step ahead than in the industry.
Absolutely. How are your clients finding you?
Oh, a lot of energy. Enrico, I can't believe, where do you get that energy? So from 8 a.m. in the morning to 2 a.m. in the morning, I possess the same energy. That's why they love working with me, because they feel that energy. When you give that energy, they're drawn into it too. Thus, the confidence that they have to me, and they trust me and build a relationship from there.
How are you getting the word out about I4?
All right. That's a great thing. Social media is really our medium right now. Just like how I got in touch with you, I'm so much more. I do a lot of LinkedIn, visibility in LinkedIn, visibility in Facebook, in my Facebook pages, and also in Instagram. So that's how the word's going out there. And we have a process too called data mining. I teach my agents on how to do this data mining, how to get into the right market, just using social media.
In today's environment, how are you standing out in terms of recruiting?
The truth is, Seth, my company really is not into heavy recruiting at this stage. What I would want everybody in my team right now is to become subject matter experts, be good at what they do. Because the last thing that I would want to do is to go out there, keep on recruiting, bringing people on board, and then your foundation is not really ready to develop these people coming on board. And then instead of making a good impression or image of the company that, hey, we know what we're doing, we do the opposite. People would think, hey, these people, they don't know what they're doing. So at this stage, for the next 12 months, really, the plan is to become subject matter experts, be good at what we do, and then be dependable, be knowledgeable. And then before we even keep on recruiting people, bring on board into this company.
That sounds like a great plan.
Yes, sir.
What do you foresee the next 5 years kind of?
Oh, that's actually great. The big companies that I was with, their explosion stage started in the 7th year. These are the big companies that I was with. I was studying how they were doing it. Definitely, that's not the year that I would want to see the company. I would want to see the company on explosion stage in the 5th year. So everything that we're doing right now is very process oriented, very methodological. So we want to make sure that every step of the way is going to be right for us. And of course, there's going to be a lot of correction measures along the way, but we want to make sure that we're ready for it.
For our folks who are watching or listening and want to learn more, where is the best place to send them to learn about I4?
That's a great thing to tell everybody, but easiest way really is through my LinkedIn, Enrico Pobre. Search my name there and we can go from there. I have a website, I have a Facebook page, but easily you can look for me in LinkedIn, Enrico Pobre.
All right. Well, Enrico, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. Everybody connect with Enrico on LinkedIn. Enrico, thanks so much for joining us.
And thank you so much, Seth Greene. I appreciate you. I'll be supporting you all the way, sir. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
See you next time.